Ah. 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 Try to stay strict upright, so I really use the lower lats and not pull like this. So much harder. I train all about feel nowadays. Really paying attention to contraction. It makes night and day difference. And I don't even count reps and sets as much anymore. Warm up, warm up, warm up, get the blood flow, and then just work the muscle until I feel I got good enough.
Arash, what do you say to the general belief nowadays that a lot of pros do not rely on hard work to acquire their gains?
You see a bodybuilder, but you don't know their story, their genetics, their diet, how hard they work. Everyone's different. There's a lot of guys that I think have more potential if they worked harder. I come from an era of Dorian and Ronnie. That's all I know. I lifted very, very heavy to get where I am. Now I'm a little bit smarter, but still high intensity. I think I'm one of the hardest working pros out there as far as intensity, strength, and the mindset.
What about your split? How do you rest? I mean, let's say.
I change it all the time.
Okay.
The way I built my physique was low volume, lots of rest, low reps. Now you become IFBB Pro, you're doing shows, you think more is better. Last year I trained 7 days a week for months. I think it's not enough rest, well, no rest. This year I did my whole body in 5 days, 1 day rest, and repeat. Now after the Olympia, I'm doing 2 days train, 1 rest, 3 train, 1 rest. I might even do 2 rest, 2 rest, 2 rest. But mentally it's hard to rest. I'm resting after the days, the muscles that I want to bring up. So I'm resting after back and I'm resting after legs. Today I'm just doing little upper body circuit till I get home, burn off a lot of the food we ate.
What about cardio?
Cardio depends how much I need. If I'm in prep, I do a lot of cardio. I'll do HIIT and I'll do steady state. I think HIIT burns the most amount of fat, but HIIT burns a lot of glycogen, a lot of carbohydrates. So if you're on a really low carb diet or if you're on a keto diet, I don't recommend HIIT.
Do you have a cardio apparatus that is most favorite for you?
I would say, because I'm such a big believer in HIIT, the safest, easiest way to do HIIT is a spin bike. That being said, I change machine all the time. And if you're smaller and you can sprint outside, that's the best way. But I wasn't worried about losing muscle, losing size, so I was doing HIIT fasted, I was doing HIIT on low carb, but I don't recommend that for everybody.
I also know that you tried a lot of diet, technique, keto. What do you think about keto?
I've done keto. I didn't like keto years ago when I was smaller. Now after the Olympia for 3 weeks I did keto, but I tested my pee and I wasn't in ketosis, meaning I was doing 0 carb, but my protein might have been too high. Keto is very sensitive. The calculations of protein fat have to be perfect or you won't go into ketosis. I like keto. I think keto is the best way to get very lean and dry. But even if you do keto a few days before a show, you have to use carbs to fill. I recommend that.
What about paleo?
Paleo is great. I think paleo is more of a lifestyle, healthy diet than a bodybuilding diet. I think anything that goes back to the early humans, what the early humans did is what's natural for us. Like intermittent fasting and paleo is so great and healthy because it's natural to humans. Paleo is just basically things that come from the earth, nothing man-made,
All right. I noticed that you have a lot of fans that idealize you. You mentioned me one, basically, who travel probably to see you exclusively. How do you feel about them so passionate about you?
I'm flattered. I don't take it too personally. I don't let it get to my head or anything. It's the same as how I was with bodybuilders when I was younger. I'm flattered, and I'm more flattered and appreciative when it's because of the way I carry myself and the things I have to say. Because there's a lot of guys out there with nice bodies, some guys better genetics than me, so, and that fades. But if somebody likes me for my mind and my ideals, that will never fade, that will never die. if people remember me for what I say 10, 20, 30 years later, I'm very happy. So I love all of them. I appreciate the support. You know, I try to comment and communicate with all of them, but sometimes it's very hard. So if I don't get to your comments, I apologize.
All right, what if a kid approaches you and tells you, Arash, I am Mr. Olympia 2025? What will be your reaction?
I tell them good luck. You know, everybody's different. I never spoke like that. I never view myself like that, and if I did, I keep it to myself. Put in the work. Don't tell me you Mr. Olympia 2018, 19, 20, or 25. Show me.
Would you redirect them towards a more reasonable path, like be somebody, be an engineer, be a doctor, be a businessman that happens to live, do not bank solely on fitness?
Absolutely. Unless you're really the elite, most of them are not going to make a career out of bodybuilding or fitness. Everyone's path is different. Mine, I did this out of love and passion, 22 years, no idea competing. I'm a businessman, I work hard. This just happened for me. I decided to compete. So if you just think you're going to become rich and famous from fitness, I hope you have the elite, the 1 percentile genetics, and you're working very hard. Because remember, I believe there's 100,000 Phil Heaths out there that didn't tap into their potential. They're walking around, maybe he's a plumber, maybe he sells bagels, he has the genetics, but he didn't tap into it. Phil or Dorian or Ronnie, they put in the work and they blossomed. So it's a very rare thing. A lot of things in your life have to align perfectly for you to be the best you possible, especially in bodybuilding.
And finally, since we are in the worldly famous Oxygen Gym, the old one, the smallest one, finally enough, tell us about your experience in Kuwait. What's up with this country? What's so special about it?
People always talk a lot of hype. They go to this gym, they go, it's the best gym in the world. Like Bev's, for me, is not hype. It's one of the best gyms I ever trained in my life. I love the atmosphere, I love the energy. And I saw all the videos about Oxygen and everything, and I come here and the same thing. Great vibe, great energy, great equipment, but energy is more important than equipment. I like it, you know, I like it here, I like the gym. And you know, the people give us a lot of love, so that feels good. But there's no secrets. Everybody jokes about the anabolic chicken and this and that, dude. You guys come here. It's like a training camp. You know, I see Brandon, I see Nathan. They come here. They eat, sleep, and train. So when you go from a lifestyle where you have more stresses, maybe you're going out, maybe you're partying, maybe you have things to take care of, friends, family, girlfriend, it's all gone. Literally, Ramy lives across the street. He eats, sleeps, comes here, trains, back again. So what do you think's gonna happen for all you guys that have school, girlfriend, headache, you have to walk your dog? None of that stuff, you know? So I think a lot of it is the myth behind it. These guys work hard and they diet and train like everybody else and take the same supplements. There's no secrets.
What do you think about Mr. Badr Budai, this guy who comes from pretty much nowhere, not related to fitness, and he bursts into the scene. Right now he is worldly known as being some sort of a godfather to this, Middle Eastern hotspot or pretty much mecca of bodybuilding now.
Well, I'm an athlete, I'm not a politician. People ask me my opinions on a lot of people and athletes. I'm not a politician, but what I like about Badr Budai and the Oxygen crew is that he does this out of love. The man is successful. He's an ex-pro soccer player, and from what I know, he does well for himself. He's a smart, intelligent businessman. So this is not, his way to fame and fortune. This is out of love. So anybody that does anything in bodybuilding out of passion and love, they have my vote. So that's one of the reasons that I'm here, to be honest, because I like what they represent, what they stand for. They do it because of the passion of the sport. And if you're doing bodybuilding for any other reason than passion, you'll fail. It's just too hard. It's too hard to do it just to be famous or be on the magazine. You might get pretty far, but you won't be your best.
Thank you, Mr. Arash, and well,
Always
I'll see you soon.